Hi, welcome to my channel. Talking about being ghosted. If the person that you're interested in is not talking to you anymore, they are going no contact on you. How do you deal with that? It's tempting, isn't it, to try and get their attention in some way, to try and reach out to them, or maybe post stuff on social media, whatever it is that you might do to grab their attention. But what you're doing then is you're then in a state of need for them. You're in a state of, you're pushing basically at the situation when you actually need to do the opposite, pull your energy back. So at the moment your energy is still in their face, even though they don't know that, they don't realise that they're reacting to that. So you need to rein it in, pull it back. And please realise that you have not done anything wrong. This is not for you to put right. This is not for you to look at ways of putting this right and what can you do to get them interested in you again. What did you do wrong? What could you do right next time? How could you persuade them of this? This is not your job. Your job is not to do that at all. For whatever reason, they've pulled away at the moment, and perhaps it is something that's going on internally with you. Generally these things are, but often they're just old patterns of people pulling away. They're not necessarily that you have thought that this person's going to pull away, because I do get people saying that to me. Well, I was really happy and nothing, I didn't have anything going on that would make me think that this would happen. It's generally nothing to do with what's going on in the moment. Not always, but sometimes. Often it's just an old pattern that you haven't recognised. So an old program rather, that you haven't recognised, that is showing it each time with whoever it is. There is nothing wrong with you. You have to really take that out of the equation, because as soon as you go at it thinking you have to correct something about you or make something, change something within you in order to attract them back, then you're coming at it from completely the wrong angle. And whilst you may get a bit of contact, it won't last. So you have to look at that, the overall picture, and think, okay, this has happened at the moment. They're not here at the moment, they've pulled away at the moment. I would like some more contact, but I am not going to chase for it. I am not going to put myself out in any way for it, and I am not going to keep energetically being in their face. I have to pull myself away completely and look at why do I think this has happened? Could there be an old recurring pattern? I mean, you may have abandonment issues from back in the day. It may be like a parental thing. It may be something that happened to you maybe when you were at school. Maybe your best friend always chose somebody else over you when it came down to it. It could be a friendship thing, anything like that. It could be that sort of thing that's recurring. If you find that this happens a lot in lots of relationships that you get into, that this happens where the person just stops contact, have a look back further, because it's generally nothing to do with what's going on now. Or it kind of does end up being that, because you then get that fear that it's going to happen again, but it really does generally come from something further back. So have a look back into the past and go back and look at much younger you and see if there's something you can correct from back then. And what you do, if you find something, you think, oh my God, yeah, it's probably that, is you can either just talk to younger you and kind of tell her that this is a nonsense, it's not true, or just break the program, just break that connection, just say, I understand that that's what it is, so I choose not to have that program running anymore, and instruct your higher self, please stop that program running. Because to be honest, as soon as you recognise it, it pretty much can kick that into touch anyway, just by recognising it. If it needs a bit more work, it needs a bit more work, but don't base that work on how can I get this person interested again, what can I do so that this person comes back to me. If you just solely go like that, then you're going to just be constantly in a cycle of them coming back, going again, coming back, going again. That's not what you want. So just look at it on a bit of a deeper level and see this as an opportunity to sort that thing out. Because if this has happened to you a lot, then now see this one time, okay, this is my opportunity. This time I'm going to take this opportunity to have a look at what's going on internally, what might be going on that I don't know about. Maybe it's in your face and you know what it is, and you know it's like a certain feeling that you've got, but maybe it's not. Maybe it needs to have a deeper look. But what you don't want to do is put all of your energies and your focus on this person reaching back out to you again, because then it becomes about them and it's not about you, and it needs to be about you. All of this needs to be about us, not about another person. So that is my best advice to you, because this possibly is one of the biggest questions that I'm asked. I get a lot of people emailing me about this, and a lot of clients talking to me about this. And really, that's what it is. Withdraw your energy. Don't give them more of it. That's the last thing that you want to do, because at the moment they've pulled away, so they're not going to want more of it. It's just going to repel them even more. Pull it away. Take your focus away. Put your focus onto other things, having a look at what is going on here, and really feel empowered by withdrawing your energy. Because why should you Give your energy to somebody at the moment that's just pulled away from you. Don't put all the blame on you. Don't say, this is all my fault, because that will not help you. Whether it is or not something going on inside of us, it won't help you to put all the blame on yourself, because you will feel in victim mode then, and it's kind of the worst thing that you can do. We don't know, let's always remind ourselves, we don't know 100% what's going on here. We don't know 100% how this works. We give it our best guess and we think this is what's going on, but we don't really know. So putting all the blame on ourselves and really feeling like a victim is not going to help in any way, shape or form. So it has to come back to a little bit of real life with a bit of, you know, a bit of a mix, a 50-50. So, okay, they've done this at the moment. Possibly it's kind of always down to something that's going on in there from past. You see, the thing is, sometimes people pull away from us and we don't care. So they've pulled away, and they've probably pulled away because we haven't had that much care about them anyway. So they've like picked up on that, so they've gone. That's one thing. But when they pull away when we're really into them and it seems to have been going really well, it's generally something, either a fear that you can feel within you at the moment, or a fear from the past that's lodged itself in there as a little program. It needs to be recognised, needs to just give your higher self an instruction. That's all you need to do. You don't need to over affirm, or I would say don't get caught up with the affirmations to change something like that, unless you're doing it and you actually feel really good about it and you actually feel quite motivated doing it. If you don't feel that, then don't do it. Just give that instruction to your higher self. I think affirmations are only ever to be done if you feel cool about them. I can say an affirmation now, feel absolutely cool about it. I really don't think I'd have any resistance now. I've been practicing with something actually just to prove to myself I can or can't do it, because I used to not be able to do it. But at the moment, I've been doing it for a few days and I feel absolutely fine and actually quite enjoying it. I'm doing it so that I can come back and report that back to you and do a video about it and say, yeah, this happened because it will never be because I affirmed, because I don't have to do that. I can just intend it and let it go, but I'm just doing it purely as an experimental thing to see how much I have changed, to sort of measure that change in me over time. Really, that's the only reason I'm doing it. And I won't keep doing it. I'll probably just do it for a couple of weeks just to see if there's any resistance there whatsoever. I don't think there will be now. Again, it's an experiment for me. And that's what we need to do here, is experiment for ourselves and, like take on board what information we're getting from ourselves. If we're feeling resistance, that is our higher self saying, don't do it because you've got resistance here at the moment. Don't do it. Do something else or do nothing. Just set the intention. So if someone's ghosting you, pull your energy back. Don't give them more energy. Never ever think, what have I done wrong? How can I put myself right? Because you never have to put yourself right, because you are right just as you are. And that is the realization that you need in order for that sort of stuff not to happen. The less you care about that stuff happening. So when that stuff happens, if it happens in the future, and the more you feel like, oh, okay, whatever, they'll be back, then they always will be. And then the choice is yours, whether you want them back or not. That's what needs to come down to, doesn't it? The choice needs to be ours, not theirs. And if we give them the power by purely keep focusing on them and focusing on how we need to change internally in order to get them, yeah, change internally by all means. Yeah, changing internally is great, but not in order to get somebody to come back to you, because then it all becomes about them and not about you. I hope this was useful. Yeah, I mean, really, I'm making this video because I just get asked about it a lot, and I think it's a bit silly of me not to address it and say what I really think about it. There you go. Hope this is useful. I do offer Zoom coaching. I offer email coaching, all on my website. Pop along and have a look. I also write books. I'm an author. Those books are listed below. I have a podcast once a week with my son Harrison, who also has a Law of Attraction channel. His is mostly based around a specific person. He also does use my members area from time to time and go in, and he will give advice on the hub. If you get stuck with anything, do ask, and he will sort of go in there and see if he can help you. I think that's that. Thanks for watching.